Hello. I guess the congregation is ready to begin this chapter of Fredtime Stories. We have gotten a new church, the Temple of the Patriarchy, to read these wonderful Psalms by the Lord. Fanfiction. I will be reading from the book of Hot Nights at the Krusty Krab, Psalm 1, Late Night Games.
Amen, brother.
Chapter 1, Lemon. Spongebob and Squidward were bored. They were forced to work there again for 24 hours. Spongebob was mopping the green wooden floors while Squidward was reading a purple book, with a secret magazine hidden behind the book. Squidward was horny. With his squid penis hard, he was rubbing himself, but he was not staring at the pages. He was staring at SpongeBob. For about 2 months now, he and SpongeBob have been in a relationship. They've kissed and dry humped, but not sex. Yet, Squidward wanted to, so bad. He felt like he was pressuring SpongeBob to do it, but he had no problem. SpongeBob turned around and showed his square butt. Squidward felt a throb. He was about to come. Panting, he lifted himself and watched SpongeBob. He said, "Hey, SpongeBob." SpongeBob turned, smiling. "Yes? I want to do something with you. Is that okay?" Squidward asked. SpongeBob's face went all confused. "Like what?" "That sex thing we have been talking about." "Sex? Oh, yeah. So? So what? Did you want to try it?" "What, here?" "Sure." "I don't know." SpongeBob looked at the floor. Squidward walked over to the sponge and draped an arm over his shoulders. He smiled. "Why don't we try it?" he suggested, slipping a tentacle down south under SpongeBob's pants and grabbing his limp dick. He rubbed it to life. SpongeBob moaned. Squidward continued to rub and grab SpongeBob's balls and get him hot. It did make him hot, and SpongeBob saw Squidward's erection for the first time for that night. He kneeled down and took the light blue cock in his mouth. SpongeBob sucked and licked and rubbed while he worked at his own hard-on. SpongeBob was more hot, though, as he felt his dick heat up with his seed. He moaned and went faster. Then he took a deeper in his mouth and deep-throated. SpongeBob conjured up more saliva and sucked faster. Squidward moaned and held the back of SpongeBob's head. His own ejaculate rose from the back up into the main tube. He was going to come. Squidward held on for his life. It was going to be a big one, even bigger than when he and SpongeBob dry humped and rubbed each other's dicks. Squidward scrunched his face and gritted his teeth, his face becoming beet red. "Oh, here it comes! Oh, here it comes!" he moaned. SpongeBob went slower, and he still suckled. He moaned himself, apparently at his own limit.
What?
The congregation shall be silent. He went at a slow pace, then pulled the dick out. He took it with the one yellow hand and rubbed it nice and slow. This made Squidward groan and made his body heat up another 5 or 10 degrees. He rolled his eyes back as a final stroke set him off. Hot squid spunk shot up into the air and landed on the yellow recipient's face, on his tongue, in his holes, on his hands, and even around that nose of his. SpongeBob was set off, and he ejaculated all over Squidward's legs, and on the once clean floor, he gasped at the breath while panting Squidward's name excitedly. "Squidward." When it was over, Squidward scooped SpongeBob up and laid him on the table, belly side on the table. No, Squidward, don't. He took SpongeBob's pants fully off and they hung around SpongeBob's ankles. You can't have them fully off if they're hanging around the ankles. Bad storytelling. Squidward panted as he got himself hard again, which took a couple of minutes because of the refractory period, and positioned himself at SpongeBob's spongy asshole. Ready? Squidward asked. Yeah, SpongeBob agreed.
God.
Squidward slipped inside SpongeBob, causing a yelp as his asshole was stretched. SpongeBob whined a little, and Squidward stopped. He asked, "Am I hurting you?" SpongeBob gasped for breath and nodded slightly. Kind of. Take it slow, okay? SpongeBob asked. Of course. Squidward laid tiny kisses on the sponge's back as he slipped further inside. It still hurt, but the pain was so taken over by pleasure. Squidward began a steady rhythm, inside and out, inside and out. SpongeBob moaned with pleasure, and raked the table with his fingernails. He shut his eyes and arched his back. SpongeBob being thrusted in and out like that, moving, made his own dick hard again. SpongeBob panted out a point. Squidward, rub me, please. Squidward reached around and rubbed SpongeBob while keeping his own rhythm still. Squidward was increasing his thrusts in his pants. He was getting close again. SpongeBob felt his dick throb. The pleasure became unbearable. Once again, SpongeBob let out a moan and arched his own non-existent spine. He opened his eyes and they rolled back at the lights above them. This is so wrong, but feels so good, SpongeBob thought. Squidward bucked and thrust faster. While he began to rise. He wanted to come inside the sponge. He smiled at the thought. He held on to SpongeBob with one tentacle, the others rubbing his dick. SpongeBob's dick throbbed again and shot his load all over the table. SpongeBob moaned, "Squidward!" While that set Squidward off and he cummed inside SpongeBob's asshole, filling it with seething hot squid seed. He groaned out, "SpongeBob!" while he came and then pulled out. Seed dribbled down SpongeBob's leg and made a mess in his shorts. SpongeBob slipped onto his knees, panting and moaning. He still held onto the table. Wow, SpongeBob thought. Squidward cleaned himself up and helped SpongeBob clean up. They went back to work with SpongeBob cleaning up Seed and Squidward in his thoughts thinking, I lost my virginity to my once annoying as hell neighbor of mine. Now my life is perfect. And they all lived happily ever after.
What the fuck?
I don't even know what that was.
What the fuck?
So
We'll see you
confused.
guys next time.